think I just caught y'all looking at my Kawasaki. Alright, so today is the story of Kawasaki. Now you see this old lady here? This old lady's pretty calm. That wasn't always the case, was it, girl? So, story of Kawasaki is this right here. A guy I work with, still work with him, he had a donkey and a horse for sale. I bought the donkey, a friend of mine bought the horse. We take his, it's not your time. We take a horse trailer and his pickup truck up there and had a little bit of trouble loading the horse. I think the guy that owned both of them ended up getting a skin up hand. And old Kawasaki saw us load that horse. She thought, is that fixing to happen to me? So guy's name's Mark. Mark said, hey, if you ever get a hand on her halter, she's caught. You ain't even got to worry about it. If you just get a hand on her halter, she'll give up. That sounded simple enough. Well, Mark's a liar. No, look, I'm sure he thought that if we got a hand on her halter, she was caught. But that wasn't exactly... Can I help you with something? That was not exactly the case. So, we walked Kawasaki up into a smaller part of the pasture where Mark had a half of a round pen set up. So it was a half moon out of fence panels. And it was me and two of my buddies. We had a plan now. Whichever way she went, one of us was on the right, one of us was on the left, the other one was walking up the middle. Whichever way she went, that guy was going to get a hold of the halter as she went past, and then the other two were going to come, you know, and kind of help get a hold of her. Well, guess whose side she came to? She came to my side. So, as Cow's coming out of this half moon, as she ran by, I just slipped my hand in her halter right like that, and then I let her momentum take me to right here. So, do you remember this? Am I telling it right? So I grab her around the neck, and then from there on, it's kind of a blur. All I remember from there on, it was awful. Let me see. You see this? From there on, I was holding on to Kawasaki and I was going like this. This donkey shook me like a dish rag. It felt like she ran from here to way over yonder on her back legs. She didn't, but it felt like it. We probably went about 50 feet with Cal running on her back legs and lunging and jumping. Get away from that. Get away from that. Running and jumping and lunging. And I told myself, I said, self, the next time you feel your feet hit the ground, you got to do something. So I did. The next time my feet hit the ground, I turned this big old head all the way over here to this shoulder, and Kawasaki with my feet planted and her head turned all the way, she flopped on the ground and I flopped on the ground right next to her. Unfortunately, that's when I let go of the halter. Hey, you're not done yet. Hang on. Hang on. I'll get you some feed. Just keep cooperating. I let go of the halter. Now, if you'll recall, I'm supposed to have two buddies that are coming to help. I look over at my buddies. Now, I'm hurting. I have hit the ground hard and been shook like a dish rag. So, I look over and I got buddies rolling around in the dirt, just a-laughing. Just a-laughing. Get out of here. You'll get your time. This is your mama's time. So, they're just a-laughing. Well, I let go of the halter and Kawasaki pops up just like that, and I laid there a moment, And to make a longer story short, came back and got her about 3 days later. The man put some hay in the barn. She went in there to eat. He closed the door on her. And me and another friend of mine, the one that races pigs, as a matter of fact, we went up and got her 3 days later. But since Kawasaki's been at the farm, she's a 3-time mama. That's one of her little ones standing there. She's an old lady now. She was probably 5 then, and if I've had her 12 years, she's 17. She's at least 17, so she's middle-aged for a donkey. And she's acting like she's got a little bit of pain in her feet, but, you know, winter's hard on everybody. We're going to get her fixed up. We're going to get her took care of. But she's what I call one of the original herd members. This used to be a goat farm. When I first got this place, I had goats over here, and she doesn't like wearing this halter. She hasn't had a halter on in a very long time. But she's what I call one of the original herd members. She's one of the original. So I just wanted to introduce you to Kawasaki. Whew. Shook me like a... You ever heard of people being real sore after having a car wreck? That's the way I felt for about 3 or 4 days. Alright. Bye, cows. Hey, don't run off. Don't run off, and I'll take that off of you. Okay? Alright. Love God. Love people. Chris from Keyfarm. Subscribe. Out.